him. They brutally robbed him. It was 4-1. That's a brutal robbery. You will never see me post again. Fuck a recap. Fuck all. I'm done with MMA. You think?
Why you not let me take you down?
Alhamdulillah, dude, honestly. Allah wills this. This was his plan.
Why is Sean cooking right now? Fellas, why is Sean cooking right now?
I like it. I was expecting this shit.
If you're picking Joshua Van, you're a dumbass nigga. There's no chance that Joshua Van can win this fight. I shouldn't have to explain it. I should hope that niggas that watch UFC should see the matchup, see how good Tyra is, see how he's the best flyweight of all time, skill for skill, and just be like, okay, Joshua Van's not winning this fight.
Stand up now and face the sun. Won't hide my tail or turn and run. It's time to do what must be done. Be a king when kingdom comes. Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody.
Today is a beautiful day. It's not very often that I can just wake up, smell the roses, feel the sunshine on my face, and just breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that maybe the universe ain't so bad. Maybe everything does mean something. Maybe it's not all for naught. And after seeing JDM and Yuri get absolutely butchered on live television, seeing not only Joshua Van, my day one guy, someone who I used to pick bamboo in the fields of Myanmar back in the day when we were mere children, seeing him take that paper belt of his, wrap it around his waist after destroying a fighter who I like in Tatsuro Tyra. I wish it wasn't him, but just another bandwagon fan base that tries to just pick who they think's the best fighter and just doesn't have any backbone. Can't stand for nothing. Look at this, Sean. And Sean Strickland, to do that to Khamzat Chimaev it truly does bring a smile to my face, as so many times there's just this weird group of people that just tries so hard to be the smartest guy in the room and just can't have fun. And seeing what this fight is doing to people, it just makes me happy. All the know-it-all guys who are always commenting how easy it is to predict these fights, how obvious every fight is or isn't. And then seeing Sean come in with all this vitriol, really bring it to Khamzat, say some of the craziest things you can say to an individual, making fun of his family, his religion, saying that he's a bitch, saying that he gets fucked by Kadyrov for money, that he's a Chechen whore, that Islam is disgusting. And I'm not saying I'm on board with everything Sean's saying, but to see all that and then have Khamzat come in and touch gloves with the man, and then that, like, to me, that's wild. And then afterwards seeing Sean on the fucking desk saying, yeah, guys, it wasn't really that bad. I mean, what do you want me to say? It wasn't really that bad. I mean, I said some stuff. Sometimes it'll get me.
Like, was it as crazy as everybody was saying? Like,
no. I think, dude, Chimaev, especially like being Chechen, they have a lot of pride. So, you know me, obviously, you guys know me. I say things that are, some people might be offensive. They might be offended, but I'm just joking. So, fuck you, you son of a whore. Bitch!
Like, brother, you said some of the wildest stuff in the world. Come to find out, all this shit was fake. All this shit was fake. These two put a bandana over our eyes and shocked everyone. I haven't seen this twist in a minute. Could you imagine after John Jones made fun of Daniel Cormier's dead daughter, them just touching gloves at the end and then DC winning? And then he comes out and he's like, yeah, guys, come on. It was just all a big joke. What? What do you mean it was just a joke? But besides that plot twist, this fight was kind of fucking boring. Let me, before I get too excited, this was such a weird fight. As in the first round, Khamzat did pretty much what everyone expected him to do. came in, kind of entertained the feet for a little longer than I expected, for like 30, 40 seconds. And then he takes down Sean, and he can additionally control them for a little bit. Now, something that I've always thought, but I didn't expect to be this crazy, was that the reason why Khamzat didn't gas out against Dricus is because he was able to get to dominant positions and could just chill there and hang out there and regain his stamina. And he always knew that on the feet, he would obviously be able to get a takedown, and not all of them needed to be big, powerful takedowns. They could just be knocking him over like a bowling pin. Whereas for Strickland, he did a really good job of constantly moving, constantly scrambling, not settling for positions. And after round 1, I didn't expect it. I thought it would be like 2 or 3 rounds of Khamzat doing that. He is cooked. I mean, Khamzat is exhausted. He comes out in the second round, strikes with Strickland, shoots the nastiest takedown I've ever seen. He looked like me after 5 rounds of BJJ, and me trying to take down the instructor. Looked horrible. And when he fell on his back like Gilbert Burns' little brother, when he fell back like that, I was hooting and hollering. I've never would expect to see Khamzat looking like fucking Dilbert Burns on his back, begging for mercy, smiling. And then after that, though, the fight was a stand-up affair for 99% of the rest of the fight. And Strickland was kind of not as good as I expected. Now, he did say later that he tore his shoulder before the fight, and it did feel like he didn't quite put as much pop on his punches like he did against the Hernandez. But there's always that game of Khamzat, if he throws too many teeps, if he, makes the wrong move, then Khamzat can get a takedown and win the round. And Strickland for most of this fight was just jab, 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 occasionally a right hand, and he could not miss. His volume in the fight was pretty crazy, and a lot of people that are talking about this fight being a robbery, Strickland would land 20 jabs for Khamzat's one shot off his shoulder. Now, Khamzat did do really well to stay into this fight, better than I expected. But as the fight went on, it was just clear that Strickland he tried to out jab and teep Strickland, and that's pretty much impossible to do. And even if it isn't like a domination, like he's getting hurt, getting destroyed, he's just getting out tit for tatted. And besides the fourth round where he had a little bit of a second wind, he just couldn't find the shots. As any shot that you land on Strickland that does damage, you're really only going to be able to land it once or twice before Strickland downloads the data for it. And Khamzat in this fight, I don't know if it was ego, I don't know if it was adrenaline, I don't know if it's the weight cut, but just at a certain point, he was just content with just coming forward at Strickland and just trying to out jab him, and it just felt so weird. There's a lot of fights that Khamzat can lose if he just gets overzealous in the first round and just settles on the feet. He's moving up to light heavyweight, and if he fights Paulo Costa, before I used to think Khamzat would destroy him, but now I don't know. I definitely think that he can beat Paulo Costa in the first round or two, but if it's a 5-rounder and he can't get him out the way and he can't finish him, Paulo Costa may destroy him. So Khamzat Chimaev's stock has dropped so much in 25 minutes, which is just something I never thought I'd say. Sean Strickland is the man. He is the goddamn champion, and seeing that happen, man, was truly, truly awe-inspiring. But moving on, Joshua Van lights up and destroys Tatsuro Tyra in one of the best fights I've ever seen. Now, this fight really was spectacular. If you ever want to see a striker versus grappler matchup, this is the fight to show them, as both fighters got into very dominant positions in which they were able to enact their will on each other. And it felt like when they got to their arena, the other person was a fish out of water. Joshua Van in the first round was taken down and controlled, but got up, which was a big thing for me. Joshua Van, whether it be due to Tatsuro Tyra constantly trying to get mount, was constantly able to kick up, stand up, and go on with the fight. No Bob Marley, this brother was coming in, and on the feet, Joshua Van was destroying Tyra. I knew Tyra was a pinhead and didn't move his goddamn head, but Joshua Van was rocking him, destroying him. And in round 3, Joshua Van pretty much finished him. At the end of round 2, put him on his back, made him look like Tony Ferguson against Michael Chandler, basically put him out there. And then in round 3, absolutely bashed Tyra's head in. And I remember after Joshua Van did the weigh-ins, he sat at the desk there with Dustin Poirier and was like, I'm going to submit Tatsuro Tyra. And I could tell that as soon as he got him hurt like that and he was able to get him to the ground, all Joshua Van wanted to do was to finish him in 3 rounds and submit him. But Tyra, giving him credit, is one tough-ass dude. He never gave up. Even though Tyra's body language didn't look the best at time, you could tell his spirit was always there. Anytime they're on the feet, he was bouncing around. He always had a little bit of swagger, was shooting takedowns, did not give up on himself, and would have some couple wins here and there where he would hurt Joshua Van's calf, land a couple shots, but at a certain point, Joshua Van was able to keep this fight on the feet longer than Tyra was on the ground, and Tyra just didn't do enough damage or latch up enough submissions on Van that Van's overwhelming damage just took over the fight, man. And people are going to be mad when I say this, but Joshua Van does the exact same thing to Pantoja. Joshua Van does the exact same thing to Pantoja. Now, Pantoja, I feel, is going to do more to ground if he gets it there, but I think the lack of sides he's going to have compared to Tyra is really going to screw him, because Joshua Van, I feel like, is going to be able to get up repeatedly, and unless he latches up that rear naked on Van, he is in for a world of trouble. So I'm super excited for that fight for Joshua Van. Absolute champ, flyweight GOAT, flyweight champ. You can't fuck with Van, bro. Absolute legend, man. So excited. Such a hype fight, man. Made me so fucking happy. Alexander Volkov, body kicked and head kicked and leg kicked for 3 rounds. Good for Volkov. I hope he loses. Yeah, I don't know. He's just not that fun to watch. Waldo, for some reason, just didn't wrestle. Half the reason I picked him is because I expected him to double leg and wrestle Volkov, because Volkov just doesn't have good takedown defense. But I guess he was content with emoting on the feet, getting angry at him like Chris Curtis, and just swinging big overhands. Yeah, lost by 3 rounds, look bad. We gotta have a conversation about Buckley. Joaquin Buckley just decide, like, if I knew what Joaquin Buckley was saying on Instagram Live.
I ain't practiced no wrestling, y'all. I ain't done nothing about wrestling, no jiu-jitsu. We been, hold on. Let me show y'all where we at. Hey, Pretty, what's you finna do? I'm about to box. You about to box, right? What y'all doing in there? They boxing. What they doing in there, Jose? Nah, they're fighting. Man, look, that's all we do over here, man. We throw hands.
I would not have picked this gentleman right here. I just strolled on Twitter after he lost, just being like, damn, Sean Brady's pretty good. And here's Joaquin Buckley talking about yeah, bro, I actually didn't train any wrestling or grappling at all. And he goes around his gym. He's like, what do we do around here? Box. What do we do around here? Box. And then his coach is like, yeah, bro, we just did calisthenics and weightlifting, bro. Joaquin Buckley pissed me the fuck off. If he just lost to Brady, and you know what? He tried his best. Brady's a dog. Hats off to him. He got into. But Joaquin Buckley, this fucking dumb fuck, is on the internet saying, yeah, bro, I didn't even fucking train. If Dana White doesn't send this motherfucker back to middleweight so he can get head kicked out cold by fucking Joe Pyfer, bro, fuck this guy, bro. I'm never picking Joaquin Buckley again. I was so excited to pick a fellow St. Louian, an absolute representative of the era, considering how fucking dumb we look, picking Joaquin Buckley to win a fight against him. What happened to the Buckley that fought Colby Covington, that got back up repeatedly and landed bombs? His striking looked horrible. He didn't fight in combination. Spent so much time feigning on the feet while Sean Brady absolutely sat on this kid for 3 rounds. Fuck you, Joaquin Buckley. Bobby Green, Jeremy Stevens. Bobby Green does his thing, got his submissions. Send 2 to 3 years to fucking Green Street and forget. Absolute fucking Chad. Looked like Khabib, got the rear naked. Atabi Gutierrez destroyed Ozzy Diaz. Needs to work on his footwork. Needs to cut off the cage better. Joe Alvarez made me cry. Got his ass kicked by Amosayev. Absolute Chad. Would love to see him against Sean Brady. Would be crazy grappling in that. Grandolphin gets to win. About what I expected. Got dropped here and there, but his grappling's too much. Jim Miller gets the guillotine in 2026. That made me laugh hysterically, even though he broke my unbeaten streak. Roman Kopylov, absolute savage, got to win over Marco Tulio. Pat Sabatini should be cut from the sport. Susurkayev looked kind of rough in the first round, downloaded data, and eventually got the finish over Santos. Put some respect on him. He's young. I like him. He's fun to watch. And Jose Ochoa, absolute Chad, beat the shit out of Clayton Carpenter and then proposed to his girlfriend on camera. Absolute Chad, looked incredible in the fight. That being said, I'm just happy as a clam. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and yeah, have a good one.
See